is moving. It's Young People Nation.
Welcome to Young People Nation. Listen to us weekly as we commit to bring transparency, healing, and truth to the everyday situations in life that might bring you down. Join us for your weekly dose of inspiration. Thank you for listening to Young People Nation. Make sure you subscribe so you never miss an episode. And now, here's your host, Eugene and Donna Perry.
Let's go. Christ is the foundation. Know his word gon' lead us. Know I'm already going. Taking steps I believe in. Giving guidance to the youth. Giving guidance to the lost. Giving the world to the project. Lead them back to the cross.
Young People Nation.
All right. Let's do it.
Yes. And we are blessed to have three amazing men. One is virtual, and we have these two amazing men here. We have Mr. David Mew, we have Mr. Vincent Brown, and we have Mr. Patrick Page, who is all the way in San Diego. Hey, Mr. Patrick.
Hello.
Hi. Okay, so just to share a little bit about these guys, we've known them for a couple of years. So Mr. Mew, he is a father, a grandfather, CEO of Manhood Womanhood Tour and Womanhood Tour, and he is a veteran. Thank you so much for your service. Thank you for your loyalty. And his Manhood Womanhood Tour, your program is about mentorship and building communities, correct? Thank you for what you're doing in the community, because you're making a difference.
Amen.
You are. Believe me, you are. Thank you so much. We got Mr. Vincent Brown. Okay, Mr. Vince is a husband, a father, man of God, huge in the community, making a difference in people's lives and building lives. Okay, one person at a time, man of God.
Yes, ma'am.
Like real deep, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, newly married.
Newly married.
What's your beautiful queen name?
Tarion Brown.
Y'all remember that name.
Amen.
Okay. Okay. And then we have Mr. Patrick Page. Mr. Patrick is all the way in San Diego, California. Hi, Mr. Patrick.
Hello.
And
all right.
he's a soon-to-be father, girl dad. You a girl dad, and
All right.
and he's going to be your
Boy-
son, your
boy
boy.
dad.
Okay. And so Patrick, he and his wife, you all have a ministry out in San Diego, California, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And he's a veteran. Thank you so much for your service, Mr. Patrick. And also, Patrick is huge about building communities and building people and helping them to understand their purpose from Jesus Christ, correct?
Amen. Yes.
All right.
ma'am.
So let's get into this. I really, and thank you for your service, the love of my life.
Thank you, dear.
Yes. You it. I always tell you that. You are it. Okay, so in this first session, we had a great conversation about men mental health. And in this session, we're going to be talking about, being brought up in different generations and communities. Now, my husband and I are baby boomers. You guys are millennials. Okay, so Mr. Perry, as a baby boomer, okay, David, Vince, Patrick, y'all are millennials. Things run a little different with y'all. Let's talk about the mental health and how you all grew up. Go for it.
Well, being a baby boomer, I feel weird saying that, but you have a aspect of the way the country, the way your ideals are formed. You have a precise or a precision that you think life is going to be better, and the future is bright. But you really didn't face reality of the times, because we were coming right out of the civil rights and all that. So with that, you kind of like didn't see the practicality of what's going on around you to the point of where it was headed.
Okay.
It was always like, we are part of the big picture now. That's the baby boomers.
Okay.
And I believe as time went on, as time went on with the different generations, the different aspects change, technical wise, people wise, educational wise. Because with us, it was like we can finally have an education and be productive.
Okay. Yes. That was so important with us.
Oh, yeah.
Your education.
Oh, yes.
Okay, millennials.
I know mental health wasn't a talked about thing growing up. Even just looking at different diagnoses now today, like autism and things of those nature, things of that nature. Like we seen that coming up, but we didn't know what it was, so we would just be like, as kids, it was like, oh, something wrong with that person,
right?
Right? Or whatever it may, it kind of like you just treated them a little different, and then you didn't know that family members had mental issues. All of that, we didn't know about it. They didn't talk about it in school, talk about it nowhere in a family setting. So mental health wasn't a talked about thing. I didn't learn about mental health until I joined the military.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. And honestly, sounding the same bill, I think for myself, it's much of the same. And one of those areas specifically, I know with me as it relates to family and growing up, the conversations weren't necessarily had. And even bringing awareness to some of the places in which we might have been struggling, and just realizing that there were some family members, myself included, that at different times, struggle with depression, and different things of that sort. But because we didn't have the knowledge of what it is that was actually going on with us, nor awareness of the resources that existed, along with having a negative stigma towards those resources and being able to take advantage of them. I think that's why so many things have gone undiagnosed, not only in my family, but I think just in our culture as a whole. I think it's something that's across the board. And so just my take on the mental health piece would just be that. I think, that's the importance of not only the education, but also having the awareness of what is actually accessible, and being able to utilize that for the reason that is put here. And that's for us to be able to take advantage, to be able to heal, grow, and to be able to raise generations in healing instead of in trauma.
Okay, nice. Mr. Patrick.
Wow. Yeah, that's powerful. Just hearing everybody speak about this. Me growing up, I would say that suppression was promoted. It was easy to suppress. It was told to suppress. Just get over it. Right. You don't need you don't need to go to get any therapy, right? Nothing wrong with you. You need to figure it out. And I believe when things are not expressed, right, and we suppress them, that's when things turn into depression. That's when things turn into anxiety and these things that cannot be released. And I believe being a young man growing up, my father was killed when I was 13 years old, and I really didn't have a way of expression, and I wanted to get those things out. So what did it turn into? It turned into look into the culture. It turned into power, money, and sex. It turned into all these things, right, to try to heal and soothe. But really, I wasn't truly expressing through the outlet that I needed. Right. I needed community. I needed brotherhood. I needed a relationship with Jesus. Right. Even though I was going to church, I had no relationship. And so a lot of that suppression was promoted. And I believe that when you allow suppression to be present and we don't have expression, that leads to depression. And that's one of the things that I just know was a big thing growing up.
Let me ask all of you all this, and anyone can hit on this, recognizing your traumas and triggers, and how do you deal with those emotions? Because sometimes other people can see your traumas and triggers, but you can't. Is that true?
It is.
Okay. So recognizing that, what's the importance of that, and how to protect yourself and be around the right people that's sensitive to those things as a man.
Yeah, I would say when I first realized my traumas and triggers, I was embarrassed. I was hurt because now I had to relive certain traumas that I I learned about triggers that brought up these traumas.
Mm-hmm.
Living that trauma, so I had to relive these traumas. So it was that took some time to start to understand that certain traumas was to make you a better person. Or you had to learn from those traumas, but don't let those traumas kind of dictate your path.
Okay.
Right. And then, using those traumas as an excuse for certain triggers. And basically kind of like lashing out at people, whatever it may be. So it's a journey once you start to embrace your past and embrace certain triggers and understanding these triggers so that it can make you a better person.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, speaking with the baby boomers, what we done was we slept on it. Just like this little tiger boy right here. We have all kind of traumas and use the belt to beat you half to death, and then after that you slept on it. and it won't no progress. It won't no feedback. It won't no yes or no. You slept on it, and tomorrow you be a different person. And that was it. I know this is a little dramatic, but if you prayed about it, cast it out, and that didn't work, you got the belt and you slept on it. And come morning, you'll be a different person. That was that attitude. That's what their attitude. Yes, sir.
Okay. Go ahead, guys.
I think for me, when it comes to recognizing my traumas, something that I started to do early on, I believe I learned this, I don't know what age, but learning how to be busy, to avoid having to feel or, having to just endure whatever it is that's present in the moment. And so when you ask the question of, not only recognizing, but even when it comes to the community aspect, it's two parts for me. One part is allowing myself to really sit, to be quiet, to not be so surrounded by the noise to where I can actually just be present with what I'm feeling. Okay. For me, I love writing, even though I don't do it as much as I should. I love to sit and I love to write and just being able to have that quiet time. And so a big part of recognizing my traumas has been in that, but also, like it's already been mentioned, just having a relationship with Christ. And being able to have community that's also Christ-centered. Because I realized not only with myself, but also in that community, a lot of my traumas resurfaced in that. And being able to have people around me that can hold me accountable in those areas, but also to have the conversations and also to go with me in prayer in those specific areas. And so for the recognition piece, it would be that. And then like when you talked about that journey and that process of what it looks like to now begin to heal from those things, it's slow. Like it's slow and it doesn't look good. It doesn't feel good. But I think being able to continue to have the people that surround you to continue to walk with you through those times, for me has been something that's been huge. And without all of those elements, I don't know where I would be or if I would even be in the process or somewhere along the process of healing as far as where I am now, because I don't think it's something that you could do by yourself. I think it's something that like the isolation because of the shame or because of like, I can't believe I did this or I've done this again. And I think those feelings or those emotions that can surface from that can cause us to pull back. It can cause us to isolate and be in a place to where it's just us because we're ashamed. But then it's like, okay, well, if you stay there too long, like how can you really heal in a place to, where you're by yourself? And so if I take the recognition piece and also the community and pair those together, I think that's how we get to the point of being able to not only be aware of our traumas and the things that we've experienced and how they've affected us and shaped us, but also like what does healing look like on the other side of all those things.
Nice. I'm gonna jump here, and Patrick, you are working on like a event for men to be able to come in and be transparent. When is that event?
That event is June 5th through the 8th here in California. We'll be going up to the mountains. We have a cabin up there. About 12 men are coming here, and we're going to create a space for them to be able to talk about the things they normally can't talk about. And it's going to be a weekend of renewal, a weekend of restoration, a weekend where men can truly be vulnerable and transparent about the things that they're facing, but also so they can be equipped to go back out to their communities, their homes, and their places to be able to be the servant leaders that they're called to be and not the people that they have to be.
Let me ask you something, and believe it or not, y'all, we've got about 5 minutes. We got to close. But I noticed this is an area for all of you all. And Patrick, I want you to expound on this for me. The power of having that space to express yourself as a man. How important is this for men and mental health?
Absolutely. I believe your environment can change you before you change it. Right? Your environment is the thing that shapes you. You could have a good seed in bad soil and wonder why it's not growing. And I think there's a lot of men that's just not placed in the right place. They don't like, and it's because a lot of the traumas and triggers also blind you from who you are. It's an identity crisis that men are having. The reason that they're not able to step into being who they were called to be and created to be is because sometimes those traumas and triggers are actually blinding them, and then they don't have the space to where they can now be prayed for, they can be, talked with, they can be loved on. And that's one of the things that men reject. A lot of men reject accountability because they don't want to face themselves. But when you create a space that is healthy, when you create a space that is open, where men are not just going to judge you, they're not just going to talk about you, but they're really going to say, hey, bro, I'm here for you. Hey, you know what? I can relate to you here. Right? Let me testify to something. This is why I believe that a space where vulnerability is, when you share your testimony, when you share what you've been through or what you're currently going through, there's something that breaks. Chains start to break when you start to hear that you're not alone in what you're going through. When you start to hear about other fathers that are going through some of the same things as you are going through. You start to hear other men are facing some of the same internal battles that you're going through. It's something about relatability in the midst of pain. Some people say, well, I don't want to trauma bond. It's not trauma bonding when you're relating in regard to healing, right? There's a relation that comes down to healing. And I believe that's what builds true relationship, is when we can heal together, we can grow together, we can look at our wounds and say, you know what? This does not define us. It refines us, right? What I've been through does not define me. It refines me. And I believe men need the space where they can be encouraged, where they can be poured into. And that's why I believe that environment, it truly stimulates growth. Environment is one of the most important things when we talk about development. And as men, as we are continuing to develop into who God created us to be, we need environments that are healthy, not environments that's going to suppress us. We don't need environments that's going to keep us comfortable. We don't need environments that's going to allow us to continue to be in the same patterns that we've always grown up in. We need some environments that's going to break some of those generational patterns. That's going to break some of those generational cycles, some environments that's going to speak to that pain and not be afraid to speak to it, right? We need some boldness. Some people are afraid to be bold nowadays. No, we need boldness in environment. And that's exactly why I believe that community and creating a space for men is important.
Awesome. What about the rest of you guys? Because I love that movie, The Forge. I could watch that movie over and over.
And you
over.
have.
And I have. Because the power of watching, I saw on your Facebook where the men were praying for you. And I think I told you, I said, that's the Forge right there.
Yeah.
And they was all around him. And he was in the center. I'm like, man, that's power there. So you guys express the importance of your safe space amongst other men.
Well, for one thing, being a baby boomer and all like that, we didn't meet in no groups like that, period, because you didn't want the embarrassment or the notoriety knowing that was something going on in your life that you wasn't proud about. And so you suffer in silence. And this is a big breakthrough as each generation has gradually mutated to a better state that you're able to even talk about it. Yep.
I noticed everywhere we've ever been stationed, he's always drew young men. We got children in Italy right now that he was able to minister to the young men. Every place we've ever been, they've always navigated and drawn to him. So that tells me he was a safe space for them.
Yeah.
And their marriages were saved because a couple of times, a couple of them was come out.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah.
I saw him. What he would do is hold those men accountable as men in their house. Appreciate you.
Well, I appreciate you too to allow me to have the flexibility to go out and do that.
What am I doing? The Holy Spirit tell you to do. I don't want to be like a fly swatter. Knock me out of the way. But you guys talk about the importance to it as well.
Yeah, I think it's of the utmost importance because, and even like you were mentioning with Mr. Perry, truthfully, that's what most men are looking for. Like we're looking for a space to where we can grow and to be able to be open, whether we recognize it or not. Like that's what we want. We want that space to be able to do that with other men because we think about through time how the relationship with the father or the fatherly figure sometimes in males' lives or young men's lives specifically, how that's been affected, whether that's through absence or whether that's through dysfunction, whatever it is, just brokenness as a whole.
Yes.
And so like when you ask about the importance of it, I think it's one of the most important because I know in our community, that's what prepared us for marriage. That's what prepared us to be able to like the vulnerability that we had with each other, even though it's still not perfect, today, but it helped to shape and mold a lot of the traits and characteristics that we have now that even goes into, us now being married and us now, being able to walk into different spaces that we're called to walk in. And so when you ask about the importance, I think it is the most important because without it, where do you really have a chance to, like when we talk about the forge, the symbol of it was the sword. Like if you don't have a community or you don't have a safe space to be able to express in that way as a man or just as a person, period, how can you be sharpened? I don't think you can. And going to the word, it says iron sharpens iron.
Yes.
And you can't be in a space and truly be sharpened if you don't have iron present. And iron has to be a community or it has to be a space to where, yes, you're able to release and you're able to share and you're able to get those things out. But also you have to have somebody that is solid on the other end. You have to have someone that's wise. You have to have someone that is giving you sound counsel because without, like when Pat talked about the trauma bonding piece, you can express in certain communities, in certain spaces. But if you don't have somebody that's giving sound advice on the other side, then what does that do to you?
Yes.
And so to answer the question again, I think it's of the utmost importance.
Yeah, I agree. We do that at Manhood and Womanhood Tour. That's our first session. It's about emotional intelligence. People always ask me, why'd you do that? And people, since we started this, always try to get me to change the order of what we do as far as changing emotional intelligence and moving that to like the third week. Because they always say, nobody want to come in there talking about their feelings, especially men, first day. And it's true. We have a lot of men on the first day, they leave. They get uncomfortable.
Okay.
Right? And they walk away. They actually walk out of the program.
Wow.
Because we're talking about emotions.
Yeah.
And then they don't come back the next time. Right? Because of that. They might think that the whole program, the whole course is about that. But they leave because they get uncomfortable. It's not that we're not creating a safe space. Because we've seen a whole bunch of change.
Yes.
And like Patrick was just saying, your environment can change you. It's hard for you to change the environment, right? But we're hoping that what we're doing, that as we grow and continue to impact people, we can change the environment together.
Okay.
For creating safe space for men to actually, be vulnerable, talk about their feelings, if they hurt, things of that nature. So, yeah, it's very important. That space is very important.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, it's the end of session 1. And we give out, and thank you all so much. We coming back for some more, Mr. Patrick, okay?
All right.
Okay, so we like to give out the hotlines that's available. We, of course, are not clinicians, but there are many sources out there. There's a 988 hotline. There's a text 741-741. That's free 24/7. There's the NAMI. There's the National Alliance on Mental Illness. So you can go to their website and click on the state that you live in for help. There's a National Suicide Prevention and the Veteran Crisis Hotline. That number is 1-800-273-8255. And if nothing else, please do not suffer in silence. Call 911.
Yeah.
Mr. Perry.
Well, in life, we battle against good versus evil. Laziness kills ambition. Anger kills wisdom. Fear kills dreams. Ego kills growth. Jealousy kills peace. Doubt kills confidence. And being that you have free will, what will you choose? This has been Young People Nation. And remember, there is always hope.
Christ is the foundation. Know his word gon' lead us. Know I'm already going. Taking steps I believe in. Giving guidance to the youth. Giving guidance to the lost. Give the world to the project. Lead them back to the cross. He the #1 prospect. He the top boss. I was broke, I was empty. He the one that paid the cost. Really thought that I was cool. There was nothing like the savior. Now it's time for the truth. The whole world been waiting. It's Young People Nation. 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 The whole world been waiting. Whatever you going through, I know what he gonna do. Don't matter the circumstance, we going back to the root. Keep going, keep going. Let that seed keep growing. You need peace and we know it. Now it's time to live holy. Young People Nation. You know what time it is. Young People Nation. Get ready, the time is here. Get ready, we vibing here. We about to let God in here. Young People Nation. It's Young People Nation. Yeah, do it for the heavens, you know where we going. Influenced by his love, you know we gotta show it. It's time to put the youth on to what God is doing. Cause I can tell you now, right now, that God is moving. It's Young People Nation.